Hey guys, it's Maxi, and leading up to the Season 2.5 update where Ultron finally gets unveiled, there was countless clips of streamers calling Ultron bad. But to my surprise, once I finally got a chance to play him, I could not stop carrying. So yeah, don't fall for the propaganda. This hero is really strong and more importantly, stupid fun. I racked up 13 games of him already and had a solid 76% win rate and MVP'd on 9 of those 13 games. So if you want to carry like me, stay tuned while I break down the ins and outs of Ultron's kit and talk about how I play him in ranked. So I want to start off by making a comparison, just to kind of give you a good idea on Ultron's playstyle, and that's going to be that Ultron's going to be more comparable to Adam Warlock in the sense that he's like a DPS healer hybrid, except with more reliable and consistent heals. And speaking of Adam Warlock, I got that dude covered. Check out this video, it's dope. Anyway, something that I mentioned in that video is that Adam Warlock is like a white knight. I'm literally this dude.
Please get away from me.
The airplane.
Dude, back off.
With his instant heals and his soul bond, he thrives in protecting the backline, and this is something that Ultron also excels in. But we're getting ahead of ourselves, so first, let's talk about his kit. Let's start off with the left click, his primary fire. This is a pulse beam that does a total of 147 damage in total, but it's broken down into two parts. If you don't miss it all, the wind-up beam is 72 damage, and the last big thunk is 75 damage. This beam is strong. It's pure hit scan, so you don't gotta lead it or anything, just pure tracking. Though something you gotta remember is that the key to getting kills on Ultron is to have super dynamic and unpredictable movement on top of solid aim. Ultron's movement is pretty fast, so while you're shooting and tracking an opponent with your right hand, your left hand is going to be doing 10 times as much work dancing between the WASD keys and control and spacebar all together. If you want to warm up and just practice this, the best way to do it is to simply go into practice range and just make the targets move while you're aiming and just get really comfortable just dancing around while aiming. You can easily outduel a wide array of duelists because you do so much damage and can heal yourself in the middle of 1v1s in like 2 different ways. If you're hard to hit on top of that, you're going to be a nightmare. Speaking of healing yourself, now we're going to talk about the right click, which is his overshield. Once you pop it, you yourself will get 75 extra health, and anybody within an 8-meter radius is getting 55 extra health. So from here to there. Keep in mind though, it only lasts around 3 seconds. There's tons of different ways to use this. One super strong way to use this is to treat it like an Adam Warlock soul bond, except it's not as strong. What I mean by that is that it just really helps soften the blow. So say a Spider-Man is about to dive at your support, you hit right click and boom, his life is harder. Or say he hits you with a web, same deal. You can also use it before or in the middle of fights to help you get the edge on other people. This thing is very handy, so use it wisely. Next up is going to be his heal, which is E by default. People were calling this thing terrible, but this thing is pretty great. It works like a Luna snowflake. You attach it to somebody, except the hitch of the drone is that it heals a person that it's attached to over time at 45 HP a second. An added bonus is that anybody near the main guy in an 8-meter radius also gets healed at 30 HP a second. And that counts as you, by the way, so if you're hurt, just try to get close to whoever you stick the bot on. This thing is very good if you juggle it smartly. I mostly defaulted on tanks who are going to be soaking up the most damage. If there's 2 tanks, they're both benefiting from it. If my other supporter and I randomly start getting targeted, I like swapping over my bot to them and hovering close nearby so we both get healed, and maybe I can even toss in a right click just to make sure we're extra safe. It's all about juggling it to the high priority teammates. So say a Punisher's about to pop his ultimate and is requesting a pocket. I stick the drone on him just to make sure he gets a little added boost just to make sure he stays alive. Another scenario, for example, is that if my support is close to getting their ultimate, I just pop it on them just to make sure they can stay alive. But aside from specific scenarios like that you gotta judge on your own. I mostly like just defaulting it on the front line. Now if you got a 3 healer comp, this little sucker can be permanently juggled. If you got a DPS, you can just stick it on them and pocket them so they can be even more aggressive. If you have a dive player that likes going on flanks and just tries to sneak up and stuff like that, you can give it to them also. If you got a storm or an Iron Man in the sky, you can just stick it on them just so they can be a flying tank pretty much. It's all about being aware on who needs it most at any given time. Now next is going to be his dash, which is shift by default on mouse and keyboard. This thing is incredible. You go 12 meters in any direction that you hit and you get a solid 40% speed boost that lasts around 8 seconds. On top of that, it gives you and only you an extra 50 HP. You can use this in so many different ways. You can use it aggressively to chase down and finish off kills, or you can save it and use it as like a getaway button to kind of just save yourself from sticky situations. Something I like doing personally is that like if I'm in the middle of like a mid-air duel, I like popping it because that speed boost will make me not only harder to hit, but that extra health is a really nice bonus. I love taking 1v1s against other Ultrons or just flying heroes with this little dash. Next up is a team up that you get by having an Iron Man on your team. I like using this mainly for heals because it does 85 healing a second versus the damage that it gives out, which comes in at 70 damage per second. It's not to say that you can't kill with it though, because overall it does around like 530 damage, but it's more of a slow burn. That's why it's really cool that it pierces through everything and it goes through your teammates and enemies alike. That's why I prefer using it for healing, and I try to angle myself to hit both of the targets. Now finally is Ultron's ultimate. It shoots off in rounds and each volley does 200 in damage or 625 healing. And there's 5 rounds in total, so your full output potential is around 1000 damage or around 3100 healing overall. This thing is truly versatile. Whenever I pop this thing, the first order of business is always making sure my team is fully patched up. Healing always takes priority. So if we're taking some serious damage, I like getting them back up to 100%, then I focus on damage. That's the default way, because sometimes I like going a little bit out of the box, and sometimes I like treating it as a pure attack ultimate. You can really delete an entire backline with this thing. It's a super strong zoning ult also, so if they're trying to go through a checkpoint, they're for sure gonna regret even trying. Anyways, that's enough of the nerding out. Let's talk about actual in-game application. So the gameplay that I'm going to be breaking down is a solo queue game, and it's not going to be my highest kill game that I got. It's actually going to be the game where I had the most kills and final hits in the lobby, and on top of that I had the most healing on my team. It was a mega carry on a domination map, so let's get to it. Funny enough, right off the bat this match, my team were already disregarding my Ultron as a healer, and overall the vibes are already shaky.
All we want just dog shit heals. Plus we have no support or anything. Just go on cloak and dagger or some shit. We have nothing.
We'll be fine.
But we're gonna fucking lose this.
It's looking pretty grim to start off, but we lock in regardless. To start things off, I put my heal bot on Magic because they usually like doing their own thing. I got all my cooldowns and we're pretty close together, so I got my faith that Jeff can sustain us for now. And pocketing Magic ends up paying off because she instantly takes out both enemy supports. So slay. While that was going on, I'm just making sure I never stay still in the air and just try harassing anybody that oversteps. Just like this Magic right here who's brawling and playing a little bit way too close for comfort. Our Strange was taking some damage right here, so just to make sure he doesn't die, I stick the heal bot on him. Turns out it was perfect timing because I witnessed my Jeff get absolutely assassinated. After teaming up and jumping the Emma Frost, we have all the man advantage in the world, so we move on to try to cap the point. Take out the final straggler, and I see that my buddy's 1 HP, so I stick the bot on him just so he can get healed the fastest.
We're chilling, we're fine.
That's my attempt of trying to calm the nerves of the team and dispel any existent hostility. Since the enemy team is about to fight us, I'm getting ready to put the drone on my Strange.
Just lock in, focus up. But Jeff, you should be on that side though for sure.
I see that my Strange is dangerously low, so I try to get close to him and right click just to try to give him a little boost of health. I'm the first person to get their ult, so I want to make sure I can capitalize on that advantage. That staircase is a pretty tight choke point, so I pop my ultimate to try to zone them out. The people that made it on point are going to be separated for the people that haven't made it yet. My thing is right next to my Strange, so that's a perfect opportunity to not only heal my tank, but completely shred the thing. After that opening pick, we get hit by an Uno reverse card by the enemy Ultron who pops their ultimate. We made the mistake of overextending, and we lose this team fight. So I back up to try to regroup with my team. As we're trying to get out of this choke point, I make sure I right click for my tank just to give us some extra overshield. I'm dumb and I realize that I haven't put the heal bot on my tank yet, so I do that while I can. Although while I'm doing this, the person that I'm shooting at is the Ultron on their side just to try to pressure him, just to make him go a little bit further back so he can't heal his team as well. The dash right here saves me from a possible death from the enemy Snow Bunny mind control.
Hurricane incoming!
Ooh, use ult potential. Nice. They did it. They did the thing. The ult, the Jeff Sharknado ult. No! Ultron's won.
That Ultron escapes by the skin of his teeth, but on the bright side, I have my ultimate again, and I'm fully ready to use it on this next team fight. They're all funneling it through one choke point, so I pop it again. Except this time, the enemy Luna Snow pops her ultimate, so I just keep mine purely on heal. I just want to make sure my boys stay alive. As we're fighting, since right now everything's up close and personal, I'm popping my right clips purely off of cooldown. At the same time, I'm ego fighting the enemy Ultron across the map.
Oh, I'm dying. What?
Luckily, our Strange pops a massive ultimate, and we end up winning this team fight.
Nice.
They're poorly.
You have any ults for this? Oh no.
The other team's about to pop open a portal, and I have no idea where it's going to be, so I just fly straight up just to make sure I don't instantly get caught in the crossfire. I have my heal bot on my tank, so I'm just going to focus on raining hell from above, while at the same time I'm ready to spam my dash in case they try focusing me.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Just in time. Thanks.
Beautiful. We're chilling, we're chilling.
And just like that, we win the first map very convincingly. And the next map is a little bit more long range, so I'm going to get my chance to shine.
Boom, 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 boom. What's up, Ev?
Capture the
Get
mission
back, get
area.
back. Poorly.
Got it?
Oh my god.
I'm really close to my ultimate, so as we're going in through the portal, I'm fully ready to use my ultimate in the same way that I used it last time. And it's bombarding them in a choke point to try to separate and zone them out. Except I popped it a little bit too early, and they still had time to back up.
Fuck that ult. My bad. A lot of shields.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Damn, that's what got me. Seen her ult?
I end up taking damage all around, and I get cooked by the other magic. And sadly, that's another opening team fight that my team and I lose. That one's on me, gang. I respawn, get diffed by the other Ultron, but luckily, the Jeff NATO comes in to save the day.
Oh wait, nice. The Jeff ult. How's he not killed anybody yet? He should have killed everybody. Did they choke it?
None of them died.
What happened? What the fuck?
I don't know, they were inside of it, but no one died.
Oh, are you still in the invisible or what?
I don't think Invisible heals. But I
We
think
get different healers.
Just kidding, somehow the Jeff NATO didn't work. Now we're in the uphill battle of trying to get out of spawn, so my main focus right here is like earlier, just trying to punish any straggler who oversteps a little bit too far.
Fuck.
So here I get my ultimate, and I'm just patiently waiting to try to make an opening to help us get to point. Once I realize this magic is trying to focus me, I pop my dash just to try to gain some distance and stay alive. She ends up trying to bail, but I still have a couple seconds on my speed boost, so I don't let her.
Double kill.
What the fuck is happening?
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Yeah.
Double kill.
Coming back, this Ultron gets movement diffed like crazy. On mouse and keyboard, your shift makes you go down and your spacebar makes you go up. So since my primary fire has a bit of a slow wind up, I'm just shooting and spamming both of those keys so I can keep ducking behind cover, waiting for my gun to reload, and then just popping out again. Using covers to your advantage is going to be the best way for you to play flying characters.
Fighting until we have a winner.
Yeah.
So right here, I'm just juggling in and out of cover, just spamming, just trying to do as much damage as I can to farm my ultimate. Because you get your ultimate on Ultron crazy fast. My magic is playing front line right now, so the heal bot's on her. But the second I see that my Strange is taking any damage, I'm going to juggle it straight back to him.
What? A lot of damage.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
Oh, you're sick. Nice. They might portal. If they do, I'm gonna just ult the fuck out of it.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. Control lost. Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Wait, hold up. There's some cooking going on, and it has to do with the maxi dome. Hold up. Nice.
And that's what I call a W self-glaze. Something that's a major note also is that that's the first ultimate this series that I've used like a traditional defensive ultimate. Their magic pops their ultimate and I pop mine in return. We're on a major backpedal and just like that, the tables turn. As soon as I pop it though, my first priority is making sure the tank is up to 100% before I turn my attention to the magic that's trying to focus me. After taking her out, kudos to my Strange for realizing that this is a perfect moment for him to push up, and that allows me to double in damage and healing on point so we can win out.
We have to win the next team fight. We have to just target Invis. They have their ult coming up.
Yeah, almost got Strange coming in. Magic can be huge also. And this is so low back there. This is one.
Glory is almost yours.
Portaling. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Nice, good shit. Okay. Yes, sir. That was a good game.
Don't get me pissed off. Fuck around, rip your tits off. Still getting